everybody, welcome back to my channel, the number one place for young women who are looking to figure out the 3 P's in their life after high school. The 3 P's being their passion, plan, and process. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about my depression / anxiety and why I've been missing for the last month. I'm going to try my best not to bum you guys out, but at the same time, I want to be honest and transparent. And just a side note, if you see me like smiling or something like that, that's like my nervous tick kind of thing. So instead of actually crying or feeling sad like I should in some of this video, you might see me kind of laugh or giggle it off. And you know, I'm not making fun of the situation. I'm actually just like nervous ticking, if that makes any sense. So I was kind of going back and forth about whether or not I should even do this video. One, because I have such a hard time being vulnerable, which is why I kind of have the giggle nervous tick whenever I have a weaker moment. And then two, because I really don't know a whole lot about depression. I've never actually been diagnosed, but I do know what it feels like to have suicidal thoughts and just feel down, like you can't move, like you can't breathe. And all of that is what I've been going through lately. So I wanted to talk about it just in case I'm not the only person and this video can be helpful to someone else out there. I've been going over in my mind like where this depression is coming from, and it's a mixture of so many different things. Like, for one thing, if you watched my To Be Fair Tuesday video that I posted this week, I talked about not being organized and just like throwing everything out there and not really planning anything out. So then it piled up on me and I just got like burnt out. That was one of the things. There was also some friend issues, some family issues, money issues, stress at work. It's a lot sometimes. And when you let things just build up on you, and you don't deal with them or you don't speak about them, it really starts to weigh you down. And I think that's what happens to me, because I literally woke up one day and I could not move. And that was so weird, because the day before I had like a lot of energy. Like, I was ready. I'm like planning out my week. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm ready to exercise. I'm ready to do all this stuff. And then the next day I woke up and I couldn't move. Like, I just laid in the bed, which is not like me. I don't even keep a TV in my room because I don't like having that distraction. I don't like sitting in my room. I like getting out and getting into the living room because my kitchen is here and I cook and I do all these other things, and then that gets me up for my day, so then I can just go outside and do some other things, run errands, record, whatever I gotta do. And I found myself like sitting in my bed for hours, just like staring at the wall. And then when I did finally get up, I would come in the living room and sit on a couch and stare at the TV. And it was debilitating in a sense, and it took a lot out of me. And it was mostly because of all these background issues that were going on in my head that I wasn't confronting or talking to anybody about. And I was just letting them build up and up and up. And it went over me. Unfortunately, at this point in time, I really don't have the resources to actually partake in therapy. Like, I have done some research trying to find cheaper therapists or even free therapists, but I haven't found anyone that really stuck out that looked like they could be able to solve my problem. And unfortunately too, when you're in like this catatonic state, it feels like nobody can help you. Nobody really understands. Now, being that I'm a life coach and that I've studied psychology and that I'm an advocate for therapy, I know that's not true. But when you're emotional and when you're hurt and when you're trying to figure things out, it's hard to believe that anybody can understand you. I'm not gonna lie. Even knowing all the things I know, I fall right into that spectrum. So it was just a lot to have to deal with all at once, and I really didn't feel like I could talk to anybody. But I do want to get into therapy. Therapy is such a major thing for me. It's so important. And for anybody else who's having issues like this, I know in the Black community, for the longest time, it's been frowned upon. But the great thing is lately, people have been accepting and opening up their minds to the idea of therapy, because therapy is so helpful. You do need to be able to get that stuff out and to relate to other people and have them give you just like solid foundation ideas of what you can do to pull yourself out of that rut, you know? And that's what I want to work on, because honestly, that was the biggest thing I was dealing with, was opening up and being vulnerable, which is why I really talked myself into making this video as a way of starting that process. But even with starting that process and doing the research for therapy, I also made it a point to look for all the great things that were happening in my life that was keeping me afloat. Like I said, I have some amazing friends and people in my life, but there were specific signs of action that really pushed me forward. Like, one of the things was a friend of mine that I hadn't talked to in years, who lives in Hong Kong, reached out to me and was just like so excited about my business and the things that I was doing. And she wanted to talk with me to kind of go over how she could get into it herself. And that made me feel energized. I have, like I said, the amazing friends that got me up and out so I don't sit at home and stew in my thoughts. And then there was my life coach, my coach, who literally reached out to me and noticed that I was crying or sad or hurt. Even when I was trying to keep it from her, she noticed it and she reached out and she had my back through all of that, like just to talk or be there or help me out when she saw I was down. Like, she was really a key part of it. And then also my fitness coach, who kept reaching out like, hey, are you okay? Are you ready to work out? Are you ready to do this? Like, that'll help boost your mood. Like, it was so many people who just did not want to see me down, and that helped me want to be better and feel better and get out of my house. And then, not to mention, God just kept putting these people in my life and showing me that I wasn't alone, no matter what the situation was. So while I was sitting here thinking that everything was weighing on me, I kept being reminded that I'm not the only person who's going through this, and that there's so many people out here who want to see me do good. So I'm not alone. I'm not by myself trying to figure this out. And that really, really helped. There was also other external factors that weren't necessarily people, but certain videos that I would find on YouTube. The one that I really liked was from Better Ideas, about how to pull yourself up out of the rut. But then there was another one that I found even before that one that talked about how we lie to ourselves to fit a certain narrative of what we think we should be. And that one really, really resonated with me, because it really pointed out the fact that a lot of our stressors come from the idea that we feel like we should be something different than what we are. Like, we measure all the people around us or the idea of what we should be doing, and we get bombarded by that. And we put expectations on ourselves, on our friends, on our lives, and they're not realistic expectations. We essentially lie to ourselves about who we are or who we should be, versus just being the most authentic version of ourselves. So that can come in the form of not speaking your mind when you are feeling some kind of way about something that's happening around you, or hanging out with people you have nothing in common with because you feel like they're going to help boost you to a certain plateau, but you don't really like those people, or anything like that. Taking a job that you don't have a passion for, that you don't have a love for, but you take it because everybody tells you that's where the money is. And I get it. We all want to make money, but do you really want to sacrifice your happiness, your joy, and your health to be able to make just a few more dollars than you would in a job that you actually love? And all of those things together, like, we lie to ourselves about those things, and then we turn around and we feel empty when we get those things. But like, there's so many things that we lie to ourselves about because we're so afraid to be true to our authentic selves, because we don't want people to judge us or think that we're not good enough, or cast us aside. It's that old trope that you see in all those movies where it's like the geeks over here and the popular kids over there, and everybody wants to be a popular kid. But the truth of the matter is, everybody actually kind of fits into the geek category if you pull them to the side and learn about their strange and weird habits that they might have that they try to keep under wraps so they can fit in with the cool kids. Like, that's the lie that we tell ourselves that keeps us from being happy and stress-free. So why am I sharing this on a YouTube platform? Well, to be honest, it's because, one, like I mentioned earlier, I want to be more vulnerable and put myself out there and speak on my truth so that I can learn how to heal and understand what my issues are. Not only that, but I also want to reach out to anybody who might be feeling the exact same way or something like I'm feeling right now. Anybody who's struggling with their identity and loving themselves and just doing what makes them happy. I want to tell you to not be afraid to express yourself and be vulnerable, to open yourself up to the idea of therapy. Definitely don't feel like it makes you crazy or anything like that to go and seek therapy. I want you to feel excited about your accomplishments and your failures, and know that those are things that we all do. Like, create your own narrative. Don't feel like you have to fit into somebody else's box. And I want you to pay attention to the signs, because when I was at my lowest points, it was God sending me those signs that let me know that even though this day is a bad day, there is a beautiful and better tomorrow. And I want to be able to pass that on to you guys as well, so that you can know that you're not alone, and there are people and things out there that want to see you succeed. The universe wants to see you succeed. That was all I really wanted to do today, and I'm so glad that you guys sat with me to explore this and just to talk about this. I am feeling a lot better. I'm doing a lot better than I was last month, and every day gets better and better. And I'm going to be back to business as usual, and back to recording and posting every Friday. So this next week, I'm going to go back into my routine of talking about different things that help young women transition out of high school. My next conversation will be about community college and why it might be a better choice for you. So if you do want to see that video, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and then go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you know when I post that video and exactly what time. And then leave your feedback on any videos you want me to cover in the future. And then to always take care of yourselves, ladies, because stress and depression are real, and they can take so much out of you. But if you let it win, you're gonna make the world miss out on this amazing, great you that is out here to make a difference. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.